Hi, in today's video I'm going to show you how you can take your avatar from this and make it into one of these with textures and shaders. So this tutorial is aimed at complete beginners and I'm gonna explain what all of this means. So when you export your avatar from Blender, it's gonna probably look like this without much or any textures and really bland. And how do we fix this? So every FBX, every model, every avatar has materials, and materials are a way to tell the game basically how to apply textures and what the mesh should look like. Textures are just a part of it. It's called shaders, and to put it very simply, shader is gonna tell your graphics card what stuff should look like, and textures are a part of it basically. So I'm gonna get right to it. What you need first is your model right here, export it from Unity, and then you need the textures for all the clothing or skin and all the stuff that you have on your avatar that you need applied. So I have them here in this little folder. It's quite simple. So first I'm gonna start with the skin. So let me right click anywhere really in the file browser and create a material, and we're gonna call it let's say skin. And now you have a bunch of options. You can either use the default Unity shader, or if you're working for an avatar on Quest, you have to use the shaders that are provided by VRChat in the mobile folder right here, usually ToonLit or matcap lit if you have a matcap, or standard light. But also for PC, you can use, for example, Poiyomi Shaders or LilToon Shaders, and we're gonna be doing all of that here. So you basically need to find the shaders that you need and import them into your project, usually through Create a Companion, like I have here, Poiyomi Shader, or I have also the LilToon Shader somewhere. There it is. I'm gonna put the link into the description so we can download all the shaders that you need, that you want. So first we're gonna go with the Poiyomi Shader because that's my favorite, and it's one of those that we use in the English-speaking part of VRChat probably the most. So how do you change into it? After you have it installed in your project, that you can see here, you just select your material and you select Poiyomi and you select one of these, and it's usually just going to be Poiyomi Toon. And you can see it's quite white. It has nothing in it. So first we're gonna apply the shader, apply the material to the mesh so we can see the changes live and how we do them. So you have to select your mesh. You can do this multiple ways. You can do it by clicking here, or by double clicking like this, and you can see how it's selected. And you scroll down in the inspector and you drag the skin into the appropriate slot, which is going to be, for me, both body, head and eyes actually in this instance. You can also click and drag like this, which is also somehow useful. So now that we have it here, it's time to set it up. So I'm gonna click here, and the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna apply the texture. That's basically the basis of what I need to do. And I have my texture right here, so I can click and drag it into this little window. You can see I have a texture here. Very nice. You can also click this little circle and type the name of the texture and then find it here. You can do it either way, it's both are fine. And let me just hide the glasses for a second. I have two of them for some reason. There we go. And I think the hair is going to be the same. Yeah, it is. Okay, nice. So that's the basis of it. Now I'm going to make some basic clothing. So I'm going to make a new material. I'm going to call it clothes. And I'm going to change it again to Poiyomi Toon. Drag it. And you can see how it's transparent here. So how you fix that, you go to the material, you go to rendering, cull, and you change from back to off. And it's not gonna cull the back sides of the faces. So it's very bright, so I'm just gonna quickly do this so it doesn't burn our eyes. And for the clothing, I'm gonna do a reflective latex-like looking material, black, because I don't have a texture for them, because I was lazy to make the textures for the clothing, haha. So let's do that. So first we're gonna apply some metallics, which is basically reflections. And that's in shading, reflections, and specular. It's gonna load a little bit. When the shader goes light blue like this, it basically means it's processing, so you have to wait a little bit. And you can see it's reflecting already. And the reflections are basically reflecting the skybox of the world. So you can click and drag some of these settings. You can see how it changes nicely. I'm gonna do actually quite reflective. And I'm gonna change the color to black. Like really black. And to spice it up a little bit, we're gonna add some matcap. Well, not here. It's also in shading. And for that, I have little matcap here. So I'm gonna drag it into the slot just like a texture. Okay. And now we have to tune down the replacement. So it's only mixed in a little bit. We don't want full matcap, just want a little bit of it, personally. That's my thing. Now it's nice and reflective. And you can do all kinds of effects, which are a topic for a different video that I'm gonna record probably later. For example, outlines. But yeah, that's good enough for me right now. Now I'm gonna just make another one for shoes. And it's all the same process. It's just different for every material slightly, or for different shaders slightly. Let's see. Shoes I'm gonna make black as well. Also gonna add some little reflections of specular. And one thing you can do, you can go to another material and you can click on these three little dots and you can copy the settings. And here you can actually paste the settings. There you go. And you have a pretty much the same reflection system, except for the matcap we're gonna add soon. So I'm gonna add the matcap as well, and I'm gonna copy it as well. There you go. Now it's like very similar. But it's also as a normal map, which basically is gonna make some little pseudo 3D details. I'm gonna show you right now. So for that we drag the normal map, which is always like blue and pinkish. Drag it into this slot. And now you can see how it creates like these wrinkles. And you can also slide the intensity a little bit. So I'm gonna do, let's see, 1.5 maybe. Yeah, that's pretty nice. See how it's like reflecting. And also we can do roughness. We have a roughness map. So we go to reflections, which is down here. And you put in the smoothness map and you invert it. It's gonna be a little button. There you go. Then you confirm merge. Because basically smoothness and roughness are opposite. So if you have a roughness map, in Poiyomi you have to invert it because Poiyomi is set up to take the smoothness map. And if you have a smoothness map, you just put it in basically. Yeah, and the surface looks much nicer. So this is basically all to it. And you can play around with the shaders, the colors. There's so much stuff you can do. It's a big part of the creative process, to be honest, especially to set it up right in different worlds and different environments in VRChat. But I hope you learned how to apply materials and make them for the first time if you've never done this before. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Share this video with people who it might help. And I'll see you in the next video.